Recording in progress.
Hello there, hello. Jen Stiles here, spiritual teacher, helping you to connect to the wisdom of your spirit guides and helping those of you, your loved ones who may have had a terminal diagnosis and wish to have some support at your end of life soul transition. So here we are. We're in episode 3 of end of life soul transition, my journey with Dad. So for those of you who are just playing catch up, earlier this year in April, my dad passed away, and I had the absolute pleasure of assisting him with his end of life soul transition onto the astral plane. And he wants me to tell you all about it. He wants me to share with you everything that I did for him at his end of life over the last 12 months, so that you know that I can come and help you, I can come and help your loved one, and you are in perfect, safe hands. So we are on episode 3, and this is all about respite care. So this was about respite care for my mum, and also for my dad, but primarily for my mum. So she had been living, obviously, with Dad, he's her husband, and they'd been together for 50 years, coming up for 50 years. And she had lived with all of his changes over the last 12 months and was absolutely, utterly done in. She had got nothing left to give. So the respite care started with me being there just overnight. So I would go, I think Wednesday, Thursday, and stay overnight, and I would do the early morning get up and any of Dad's needs during the day so that she could have a rest. She looks after him medically, but I did all of the physical kind of grunt work. So then, so that kind of started in about September, and in January, we all agreed that it was time for Mum to go and have an actual longer break. And so she went to stay with my brother, and I went to live with my dad. And we had such fun. It was absolutely, absolutely exhausting. The hardest part, I believe to have been, would have been between, so at this point we were then getting, so yeah, we'll go back, sorry, waffling here. If I go back to September, there was a night carer. So I think they started at the beginning of September. So they were with us from 10 o'clock till 7 o'clock. Because Dad got up during the night an awful lot. So for Mum, getting up during the night to take him to the toilet was proving exhausting. So we had a night carer come in, and they would do all of the night work from 10 o'clock till 7 o'clock. So then when I actually did the week-long respite care, we had the night sit, and then we also had a morning get up. So somebody would be there from 10 till 7, and then somebody else would come at 9 till 10:30, and they would get him dressed and washed and showered and stuff. Not in that order, because getting dressed and then having a shower didn't quite work, does it? Oh, it was fun. So I think the longest time actually was from about 8:30 in the evening through till 10 o'clock, because of I think I counted, and I am allowed to share this with you, he's just told me, that I had taken him to the toilet or lifted him up over 100 times in one day. And by the time 8:30 had come, I was absolutely done. And I remember saying to Dad, because I said, Dad, I've got nothing left. If you really want to go to the toilet, I'm going to have to call my brother. Adam's going to have to come and do it for you. And he was like, nope. He didn't actually say no, because at that point he wasn't talking. but he stopped then, trying to go to the toilet. So yeah, that was because it wasn't just taking him to the toilet, it was lifting him up out of the chair, transferring him into the wheelchair. We did actually call it the chariot of poop. You have to have a sense of humour, honestly. You've got to find that little sense of humour. So we called it the chariot of poop. So you'd lift him up out of the chair, put him into the chariot, then wheel him to the toilet. You'd have to lift him up, pull down his like bottom half, put him back on, and then leave him to it, and then go back. So each time it was just a lift up, sit down, lift up, sit down, lift. And I did that over 100 times from like 10:30 when the carer had gone through till the 10 o'clock. And so 8:30 through till 10 o'clock was just the longest period of time, because she just really wanted to be in bed, and you were just hoping and hoping and hoping that the carer would come early. I don't think I've ever wanted anybody to start work early before. Yeah, you were just hoping that they would come, just so that you could then hand over to somebody else and they would then deal with everything. So that was the overnight week, and oh my gosh, we created some beautiful memories that week. I am so grateful for that time that I had. It was proper daddy daughter time. For those of you who are daddy's girls or have been daddy's girls, it was just lovely. It was the best thing, and I know that he enjoyed it as well. He really didn't want me to go home, so kind of what we did then was I then started to go like Tuesday to Friday, so we added in a little bit extra, so that I could be there to help out and do all the things. And then I think, so then Dad had a stay in hospital. He wasn't very well, so he went to hospital in February, and that man came out worse than when he went in. That was horrendous. It was a really awful time, because we couldn't go and visit him because he couldn't communicate. His only communication was thumb up or thumb down. And they just didn't have the people to spend time with him to work out what he did want and what he didn't want. So yeah, he came home like a shell of a man. So then I moved in like Monday to Friday and was there more permanently. And again, we did all the walks. There's a lot of photographs of me and him going to the duck pond. That was our walk. And I think I've mentioned it previously, we watched Mamma Mia so much. But then after he came out of hospital, we went on to Norman Wisdom. And Norman Wisdom was quite good. So this respite is all about providing the break for your loved one, and the break for the loved one's carers, because there comes a point when there is that resentment, and it does come. You might say it's never going to come, but it does come. And there is that point where the resentment is there because you're tired. And it's not tired that a good sleep will do. You're just tired emotionally, physically, mentally. Everything you are not your main focus anymore. Everything has gone from you and it goes towards the person that you're looking after. So the work that I do to come in and help you with that is to take away some of that burden. Obviously not the medical side, because I'm not medically trained, and hopefully you will have carers in to come and take care of your personal needs, but I'm there for your energetic needs and your communication needs, and just giving you anything that you need without any expectation. So that's a really important thing that Dad has asked me to share, is that when somebody is in end of life, they have nothing to give you. There is nothing that they can give you, so don't ask them. And even though you think you might not be asking them, you are, because that's just the nature of your relationship, that's just the nature of your energetic alignment, is that you will be asking, even if you don't verbalize it, your energy will be asking. So to give with no expectation of receiving anything is what I do. So where have we got to? Yeah, respite care. So then we got more carers in, which was really helpful because he needed a lot more care. So I think we went from having just the overnight to then the wake up to having 2 people on the wake up from 9 till 10:30, and then 2 people came again at 2 o'clock, and then 2 people came again in between half 5 and half 6, and then very much towards the end we had somebody who came at 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock, because that was still, oh my gosh, that was still the most exhausting time. Even with all that help during the day, most of the times that he was trying to get out of bed, because he would get kind of put to bed at 6:30ish, he would be trying to get out from 7 o'clock, and you'd be trying to put him back in, or you'd take him out and take him to the toilet. So that was the exhausting bit, just that section. So then towards the end we had somebody from 8 till 9, and then the nighttime carer came at 10 o'clock. So that was a quite a high package of care, but by that point he wasn't really mobile. He wasn't able to do much for himself. Left side had pretty much given up what it could do, and he needed 2 people to move him. So yeah, I think I've waffled on long enough now. Anyway, so that's that little bit that Dad wanted to share. It was about respite care. So respite care is an option, and something that can be discussed within your kind of care package to coincide with everything that you already have. So I'm going to leave it there. We've got episode 4 coming out next week. That's all about language and not the effing and blinding. So I look forward to seeing you next time. And yeah, have a good week. If you've got any questions at all, then please ask. Nothing is a silly question or one that I'm not prepared to answer. Yeah, let's have full total transparency here. Ask away. Okay, so I will see you, namaste, next week.